Hey everybody, how we doing? It's a good day for liberty, isn't it? Thank you for being here. We've had a good panoply of speakers, have we not? Getting some good information? Yeah, hey, I want to thank John Harris of TFA for hosting this event and inviting GOA. We are glad to be here. Let me tell you something. The Tennessee Firearms Association is the real deal. They are fighting the fight here in the state, are they not? How about a round of applause for John and TFA and what they're doing? Fantastic job. Oh my goodness. Let me tell you something. Gun Owners of America has been very happy to work alongside of John and TFA whenever we can, not only here in the state, but also around the country as well. We've partnered together on several lawsuits. And we have to join forces because, as you can imagine, these last 2 years have been quite a struggle for our Second Amendment rights. Has it not? We are battling the most anti-gun president ever. As you drove in this morning, you may even have seen some of his redcoats out there in the driveway, right? Did you not? Biden has this very scary mix of being both very evil and very clueless at the same time. For example, he has said he wants to ban the AR-15 because, as he says, deer don't wear Kevlar. I mean, seriously, as Mark Green was just saying, Second Amendment's not about hunting. The Founding Fathers were never concerned about the deer population overrunning America, and no Founding Father ever said, the deer are coming, the deer are coming. No, the Second Amendment is all about the preservation of liberty against a tyrannical government. Folks, this was not theoretical for our founders. They lived this. A friend of mine recently said to me, he said, Eric, I saw your Twitter profile and it looked like you were shooting a military gun. I corrected him kindly and I said, no, that was a civilian firearm, because the whole idea behind our Second Amendment is to make sure that civilians have the same rifles and pistols as the common soldier. I said, that's why we've never had a Hitler problem. Well, that was a completely unique perspective for this friend of mine he'd never considered. Now he wants to go to the range with me. Now he wants to buy a firearm. How awesome is that? His mindset has been completely changed. Of course, our president would totally disagree with this. When the Bruin decision was handed down, Biden slammed the Supreme Court decision. He said, concealed carry makes everyone less safe. Well, if that's so, Mr. President, then I have a question for you. Are you going to fire your own security detail? I mean, just asking, because why should you have all those armed guys around you, Joe? Doesn't that make everybody else less safe? Following your own logic. I mean, what a double standard, right? It's been said if it weren't for double standards, liberals would have no standards at all. Yeah. So look, the Second Amendment is that right which protects all the other rights. That's why we cannot compromise. We cannot even settle for gun control light, so-called, because every new compromise becomes the starting point for the next set of calls for gun control. After all, what does the Second Amendment say? Help me out. Shall not be infringed, right? It doesn't say you can have a background check or a waiting period or gun-free zones or red flag laws or have an NFA that regulates suppressors and SBRs. You know why? Because our rights don't come from government, they come from God. The Declaration of Independence says this: everyone has a right, is endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights. See, our founding fathers didn't believe that our God-given rights should be treated as mere privileges where we have to beg for permission to exercise our most fundamental rights. So here's a truth that you can hang your hat on. A government that fears your guns is a government that cannot be trusted. right? Look, we've seen this movie before. Mark Green alluded to this. We know what happens in countries where government authoritarians don't want people having guns. I'm talking about places like Nazi Germany and China and the Soviet Union and Cambodia and others. We know how this movie ends. It ends with gun registration, followed by gun confiscation, ending very often in genocide. And so when you hear that, you have to wonder, well, is it really a good idea then that the ATF is busy compiling almost 1 billion with a B gun purchase records? They were forced to admit this, by the way, because of a Freedom of Information Act request by Gun Owners of America and another congressman. I agree with Mark Green. It is time to defund the ATF and then to put them out of business. They don't belong there. But we can't do this without your help, folks. How many of you sitting here have been following the attacks on our gun rights, say, for the last 10 years? Put up your hands. All right, many of you. How about keep your hands up if you've been doing this for over 20 years? You've been in the fight for a long time. So there's a few of you out there who've been at this for a while. Thank you for your service. I've been at this for over 30 years. I started in the early 1990s fighting for our Second Amendment rights. And let me tell you, those were kind of the dark days. Victories were few and far between, especially in the courts. But today, wow, what a difference. We are winning victories all over the place. Not necessarily in every single individual battle, but look, let's face it, look at the legislatures. Now in our country, more than half of the states in this country have constitutional carry. Do you know how many constitutional carry states there were at the turn of the century in 2000? Who knows? I think I heard it there. There was one. Who knows what state that was? For extra credit, it was Vermont. That's right, one state. Now, more than half the country has constitutional carry. We are gaining ground. Here's more evidence that we're winning and gaining ground. More states now have constitutional carry than red flag laws. Thank God that Tennessee didn't join those ranks this past month. Yeah, Lousy Lee is very disappointed, isn't he? Look, I am grateful to all of you here who are not only TFA members, but members of Gun Owners of America. You're getting our alerts, and you've taken action on those alerts. That makes a huge, tremendous difference in the legislature. So again, we're winning lots of battles, but we're also winning quite a bit in the courts. In recent months, GOA has won either partially or fully in states all around the country in court, in states like Illinois, New York, North Carolina, North Dakota, Texas, Oregon, Pennsylvania. I could go on with others. That's just the tip of the iceberg. We are repealing gun bans. We're reversing restrictions on concealed carry. We're stopping gun control imposed by the president. After all, how many of you sitting here, because you are a GOA member, you know that your pistol-braced firearm is legal right now because you're a GOA member. Do we have any of you enjoying that freedom? Yeah, that is awesome. And by the way, working together with the Tennessee Firearms Association, we've already started reining in Biden's zero tolerance program. Mark Green was alluding to that. Biden's ATF is trying to put gun dealers out of business for mere clerical errors, not dotting I's, not crossing T's. And they're doing this at record rates. So both GOA and TFA are pushing back, and we're winning in court. We've begun the effort to put a stop to this, and this is very exciting. But let's face it, this is such an important battle because if Biden's ATF can put thousands upon thousands of gun dealers out of business, you might technically have a Second Amendment right, but you're not going to be able to find anywhere to buy a gun. It's diabolical what Biden is doing, and that's why GOA and TFA have made this fight a priority. And again, we're winning lots of battles in the courts, and a lot of these victories are a testament to a few things. First of all, it's a testament to the fact that we have a good Constitution. Thank you, Founding Fathers. It's a testament to having good Supreme Court judges like Clarence Thomas. Thank God for Clarence Thomas and the Bruin decision. Yeah. It's also thanks to committed gun owners like yourselves who support GOA and TFA so that we can keep bringing these legal actions. Of course, our victories are also a testament to God's grace. We can't forget that. But with our victories, we have to recognize that there's a potential danger. And the temptation is to get lazy and to start thinking, well, I don't need to take action. The courts will fix the problem. Or GOA and TFA, they've got this problem covered, so I don't need to be as active and responsive. Let me encourage you, we cannot do that. We can't let up the pressure. All of us have to stay vigilant because all it takes is for the anti-gun Democrats to take control of the House of Representatives, the Senate, and the White House, all at the same time. And you know what's going to happen. They will pack the courts so that they will overturn the Heller, McDonald, and Bruin decisions. They will eliminate the Senate filibuster so that we can't kill any more gun control. And then they'll change the election laws so that we can't prevent voter fraud. That's why it's imperative that we stay vigilant, that you keep taking action on our alerts. I encourage you, if you're not getting our alerts at GOA, please go on our website at gunowners.org and sign up for our email alerts. They're free, but boy, are they powerful and effective because it's being used to stop gun control. And hopefully, you will also continue supporting GOA and TFA so that we can keep suing Biden's ATF and winning in the courts. Look, I want to end it here, so let me just say thank you for being here today. Thank you for staying vigilant. The efforts that you are putting in will pay off, not only for you, but for your children and for your grandchildren as well. What we're doing is important, so everybody, let's keep up the fight together. Thank you.